What's up, y'all? Talon here, and today I'm here with a series of ranked battles featuring a rental team that did really well in an online tournament this weekend. It was piloted by Fede Campo to first place in a about 70-person grassroots tournament, and it has a really cool set of Pokemon. They're pretty standard overall outside of the Dark Urshifu, but they have some interesting spins on them, so I thought it would be interesting to feature them on the channel. The Cresselia has Mental Herb over something like Safety Goggles or Rocky Helmet, which we've seen a lot of, which I think is going to serve us pretty well in a best of one environment. Someone tries to taunt us as we get Trick Room up, just going to fail in that first instance. And we have Ice Beam as the attack choice over a Moonblast, which is more common to hit other Urshifu, but it looks like Fede prioritized hitting Landorus, T, as it tries to switch in and out to intimidate your Ursaluna. You can kind of just go for Ice Beam and snipe that out. The Ursaluna is the Guts Flame Orb set, and it has Earthquake, which lets it go for spread attack damage next to Cresselia and Dragonite, interestingly not opting for Headlong Rush. And it has Swords Dance and Ghost Tera, which is really cool. So the Ghost Tera is nice in that any Urshifus going for close combat are going to completely get destroyed that turn they go for close combat, no damage done, and gives you an opportunity to go for big damage or Swords Dance, and you're also neutral into any Surging Strikes hits. Against a Dark Urshifu, that could be a problem, but it's much less common than Water Urshifu, so that's definitely a good trade-off. And the Swords Dance, yeah, if you catch your opponent trying to stall out Trick Room with double protects, if you get a Swords Dance up, that's really one of the better ways to capitalize on that. We also have the Iron Hands with Fake Out to help your Cresselia get Trick Rooms up, as well as just being really bulky with Assault Vest, able to wall out Chi-Yu, Flutter Mane, get big damage off with Drain Punch and Heavy Slam into those two. So yeah, just a really good defensive backbone for the team. The last three Pokemon on the team are Flutter Mane, Urshifu, and Dragonite, and they're made to basically let the team function outside of Trick Room really well. The Flutter Mane is a speed boosting booster energy with Icy Wind, which alongside the choice banded Tera Blast Dragonite can net some really unexpected turn 1 KOs, just being able to slow something down and let your Dragonite take a knockout that they were kind of expecting not to take is really valuable in best of 3 as well as in best of 1. The Icy Wind also benefits Urshifu. It's kind of in a middling speed tier, but after that Icy Wind and potentially a Tera Dark, you're knocking out a lot of things that probably were expecting to have the advantage in that situation. I've EV'd the Flutter Mane to be really offensive, just so that you have the maximum chance with a Tera Blast or a Tera Fairy Moonblast into opposing Scarf Tera Water Urshifu. You'll have a 75% chance to knock that out with Moonblast, which, you know, isn't perfect, of course, but if they're no bulk, which a lot of the Choice Scarf Urshifu are, it is nice to just be able to outspeed and knock that out most of the time. The Urshifu is pretty standard, opting for Focus Sash instead of the black classes, which we've kind of been seeing pop up, just trying to get at least 2 hits off most of the time, just opting for consistency of damage rather than big burst damage, which the other sets have. Now we have Dragonite, who is running the Inner Focus Choice Band Tera Flying set. I think Inner Focus is pretty smart here. Multiscale is obviously really consistent for getting multiple hits off with your Dragonite, but I think in this team was optimized for best of 3. In a best of 3, if you have Inner Focus Dragonite on your team, that's one less motivation for your opponent to want to bring a Landorus or another Intimidate Pokemon, which clears the way for your Ursaluna to hold on to its boost even better. So I think this is a pretty good deterrent for Intimidate and really smart on Fede's to run this particular ability. The move slots are Tera Blast, Extreme Speed, Outrage, and Stomping Tantrum. Notably, we're missing Aqua Jet on this set in favor of either Outrage or Stomping Tantrum, so we don't have any priority to hit Flutter Mane, so we do have to be careful there, but oftentimes you're locking into Tera Blast anyway, so I think this set makes sense for maximum damage against the widest spread of Pokemon in the meta, and I think it's really solid. Overall, this was a really strong team that Fede was able to pilot to first place in that grassroots tournament. I have his Twitter linked in the description, as well as the rental code and a PokePaste export of this team that I've recreated. So yeah, if you enjoy these videos, please subscribe to the channel. It helps out a ton, and let's get into the battles. All right, last day of the ranked battle season for us. So we're starting at 832 on the ladder. Doubt we get into top 30, but you know, anything's possible, I guess, if we just win a ton of matches against high-ranked opponents. So starting off against a hard Trick Room team with Indeedee, Hatterene, Torkoal, Glastrier, Urshifu, and Chi-Yu. So obviously we have kind of a Trick Room mirror here. I think Earthquake is really beneficial if they lead their Trick Room mode, but it's not so strong against Chi-Yu and Urshifu, especially if they're the water one. So I could just get my Cresselia in and reverse Trick Room if they set it up. That's an option. I think Iron Hands is a pretty good bring into a lot of their Pokemon in the back. I think we might be able to force a Tera from them. I guess I should just be concerned about their Torkoal mode. I think I'm going to lead Ursaluna. Yeah, I like Ursaluna here along with something to handle the Chi-Yu mode. I'm going to go with Iron Hands, and in the back, I'll go Cresselia because I think I can reverse Trick Room potentially, and as my last, I think Focus Sash with Trick Room. A Focus Sash Protect Pokemon is traditionally really strong into Trick Room here. Having Psychic Terrain stuff my ability to go for Sucker Punches could be an issue, but yeah, we'll just have to see about it. Okay, and it's going to be Indeedee, Urshifu, Rapid Strike. Okay, fair enough. So I do probably have a defensive Tera here. It'd be nice if I had a Rocky Helmet Pokemon. Yeah, we might just have to eat a hit, honestly. So we do have Tera. I'm not going to go for Protect here, just checking my Tera again. It is Tera Water, which I think is probably pretty reasonably likely to be my best Tera this game. So I think yeah, it's kind of a tough play here. I don't really want to sacrifice Cresselia. I might have just been silly to yeah, this could be bad. I'm probably going to have my Ursaluna knocked out here. I don't know my role so well. They are going for Tera on their own side. But I just really didn't want my Cresselia to take too much damage here. And they are Tera Fire. That's interesting. So I could have just gone for Earthquake, switched to Cresselia, and done way more damage than I was expecting. That's an interesting Tera on their side. But yeah, I think this was maybe the correct... I mean, if they close combated and I could have gone for Tera Ghost Earthquake, that would have been really nice, but I couldn't have predicted Tera Fairy here, so don't feel too bad given how bad I led here. It's going to be Helping Hand. Okay. So offsetting what... And it is Surging Strikes into Ursaluna, so yeah, that's going to be an easy knockout. I'm kind of glad I didn't switch in my Cresselia, but not so glad about how much damage I'm taking here from my own Wild Charge. But, you know, this isn't bad. By no means is this bad. Because I think a Wicked Blow... Let me run a calculation really quickly. I think Wicked Blow probably knocks them out. So after running the calculation, the Focus Sash Ursaluna Wicked Blow, and I believe that was off of Jolly, will always knock out the Indeedee. They will live my hit and be able to go for a close combat, but given that they have to lower their special defense to do that, I'm kind of okay with it. I didn't see if there was Psychic Seed, but I can check that. They didn't get that. So I guess the question now is, what do I think I always Wicked Blow Indeedee. The question is if I double into it, they might go for close combat. Ooh, they could also go for Surging Strikes. I think I'll Drain Punch into their Urshifu just because I don't want them switching their Indeedee into something. Okay, we are faster. That's a good indication. And no Focus Sash, which is really ideal. We take that 1-hit knockout after they've burned their Tera. If they go for close combat, which I think is reasonably likely, we should knock them out with Drain Punch. Okay, nope. And I don't think... Yeah, this isn't a knockout, and reasonable chance that we outspeed and knock them out next turn, and they can't go for Aqua Jet because of their own Psychic Terrain. So we heal a little bit of the damage that we self-dealt last turn. Yeah, so Iron Hands, you know, got the best out of its damage. Definitely ordered that correctly while charging to Drain Punch rather than the former, ending up with a little more HP, which might not be so impactful in this circumstance, but you never know. Ooh, okay. So this is where Heavy Slam on Iron Hands could come in really helpful. We could guaranteed go through their Protect with any of our moves. The question is, who are we trying to cover for? So our defense stat doesn't really matter at this point. So I think I'll go for Close Combat into Urshifu in case they switch into Glastrier or Chi-Yu, and Heavy Slam into Hat. So if they're not Focus Sash or Babiri Berry, I think this is guaranteed knockout. So after a pretty bad lead, I think we've... Okay, cool, we do outspeed. That max speed Urshifu coming in clutch here. And I think we might have been able to find ourselves into a favorable position after such a bad turn one. Yep, and there's Heavy Slam, and ooh. Wow, EV to take that. Or I could just not be max... I'm probably like 156 plus on my Iron Hand, so I could have taken that knockout, but I don't get it. But it is Chi-Yu in the back, so definitely not the end of the world there, because I think... it's still not great. Looking at Psychic Terrain... So the concern here is that I think if I switch out into my Urshifu, I'll be able to Sucker Punch the Hatterene no matter what. So I think unless they flinch me or get a crazy damage roll, I should just be good to go for Drain Punch into Chi-Yu. This doesn't cover for Focus Sash. I don't think they should be able to live this hit, but regardless, I'll be able to protect the next turn that Chi-Yu is, or sorry, wow, that did a lot. Okay, it was Life Orb, so definitely was correct to go for Drain Punch into the Chi-Yu. And Drain Punch is going to bring them, no Sash, yeah, okay. So, kind of a weird battle. We completely lost our Urshifu on turn one and basically did negligible damage, it felt like, to their Urshifu, but we were able to get our Pokemon in the right position. The Focus Sash on the Urshifu of our own let us be able to tank any close combat potentially, and yeah, just even it's kind of surprising that Bold Indeedee, even with max defense, isn't able to take a jolly Wicked Blow from Urshifu, but it's just a testament to how strong that Pokemon is. So yeah, pretty happy with how our back Pokemon were able to stack up even after our pretty horrible lead. All right, against about 650 on the ladder, we have Annihilate, Mousehold, Flutter Mane, Rillaboom, Landorus, T, and Thundurus. So the Annihilate could be an issue. Beat up Rage Fist is going to be a knockout on my Cresselia, and I don't really just want to burn my Tera for no reason, but Ursaluna could be nice here. I think I might get some leverage. It kind of depends on the speed of their Annihilate, right? Because I could go for something like Icy Wind, Dragonite Choice Band on lead and do some really nice damage to them. I think it's definitely reasonably likely that they have... I don't want to lead right into a bulk up setup. I think Urshifu is pretty strong as lead for me. Flutter Mane as well could be threatening, especially because they have to attack twice into Urshifu. I'm kind of in good shape to just go for a Protect on Flutter turn one. I like Urshifu in the back and can do a ton of damage to all their Pokemon, and I'll go Iron Hands. I'll skip on Trick Room this game and just go with the more offensive mode. So one concern, I mean, the issue with Mousehold in Best of 1 as well as in Best of 3 Open Team sheet is they have so many options, and especially given that we don't know, they have so many options even if you know their entire set and items, and if we don't know that, like, they could be Technician Pop Bomb, they could be Choice Scarf Annihilate, so definitely in a lot of danger here if they lead that. And I tried to lead with some Pokemon that could let me handle that, but yeah, we do see that lead. I might just go for Double Protect. That is very risky, unfortunately. On the bright side, Rage Fist probably shouldn't one-hit KO me. I could go for Tera Fairy, Dazzling Gleam, which is kind of what I'm leaning towards. Well, if they reveal their Pop Bomb, I think I'm totally okay with that. I think I'll go for Wicked Blow into the Mousehold in case they go for... I guess they can't really go for a defensive Tera. on Mouse Hold because that opens them up to a potential Dazzling Gleam. So I'm going to go for Protect Close Combat into that, see what they go for. And no Protects or Teras on their side, so kind of scared of that. It is Follow Me, so definitely right to hit Close Combat. We move before Annihilate, giving us a bit of info on their speed tiers, and that's an instant knockout, and they're pretty much going to have to take a hit next turn. Rocky Helmet, okay. Alright, that's interesting. So we'll see if we live a Drain Punch. Alright, so unfortunately we're trading 1 for 1 there. That's really unfortunate. Rocky Helmet, Mouse Hold. More used to seeing safety goggles, but, you know, times are changing, and so are these guys, so. I think fortunately we did get out of that situation without the Annihilate getting a Tera, or getting a boost. So now I think we're free to bring in Dragonite, and we can't ignore the Annihilate by any means. Maybe Iron Hands is a little safer in the back. But they do bring in Rillaboom as Flutter Mane completely blocks the screen. I don't mind this at all. I think I have a pretty free hit onto the Rillaboom. They don't know that we are... I have a free hit into Rillaboom, but I could also have a free hit into Annihilate if I want it. I think I like Tera Blast into that. Just because I can take the knockout any turn into Annihilate, potentially. Or rather, I think I might need the damage into Annihilate to win, but I don't want to waste... I think if I'm doing this turn again, I probably Tera Blast the Annihilate. We are Terraing first, which will give us information if they also Tera this turn on who between us is faster. Because Tera initiates based on speed. So we will see, but if not, we should have a knockout into the Rillaboom. And no... Oh, man. Okay. Totally forgot about that, but we get bailed out because they went for Protect of their own, and we are going to see a Tera Blast into them. They haven't burned their Tera, and that is going to be a knockout, no Focus Sash. Very nice. So we're up 3-2 on them, and they've burned their Protect. Annihilate has no boost up. I can probably just target the other slot, but it is Landorus. Okay. So there's the Intimidate, which is, of course, concerning, but we do have Icy Wind, which could net us a surprise knockout. The question is, do we have to go for that? I think it benefits us a whole lot, too. Even if we do proc Defiant, I think, depending on what they go for, we should still be able to win the game with our Iron Hands in the back if they go for Tera Water or something like that. But we are drastically boosting their damage potential this turn. But yeah, it is Tera Water, which I think is good because if they target into the Flutter Mane, then I get a Tera Blast on them next turn, and we do hit both, taking the Landorus well into Tera Blast range, as long as they're not Rock Slide, Choice Scarf. Oh yeah, that was a choice. That was a crit. They were Defiant, but because we have the Pokemon... Oh, they were Choice Scarf, Rock Slide. Okay. But because we're Inner Focus, the happy perk, in addition to being immune to Intimidate and Fake Out flinches, is Rock Slide flinches. So knockout there, and now I like our position a fair bit. They do get the Rage Fist off. Going to be a knockout, but we could be in a bad spot, honestly. But I do think we just have the resources to inch this out. Because we have two Pokemon, Annihilate's very good Pokemon at making comebacks, but when we have super effective damage against it, less so. What I might try and do is just... I'm really tempted to go for another Icy Wind so that my Iron Hands will outspeed them. Well, I don't know if it will, actually. because I'm a Trick Room Iron Hands, right? So I'm 70 speed. My Dragonite, I think we never saw if I was going to outspeed them. So giving them another Rage Fist boost, especially with Defiant, could just lose us the game outright. Yeah, we might be out damaged a bit here. Okay. I think I'll go for Moonblast. Yeah, I kind of expected them to go for their own Protect, so I want the option to have my own Protect this turn. And this wasn't one of those situations where I could self-target the partner, because attacking Iron Hands is definitely a no-go here, so I should be able to just go for an Iron Hands Wild Charge this turn. Tank, that's a base 100 Rage Fist at +2. I do think my Iron Hands is bulky enough to take it. They do have leftovers and grassy terrain, so they're going to heal 25% chance, or 25 health, 25% of their health over the next 2 turns, so we might not have the damage to win this, actually. Let's think. If they're +2, 150 base power, I think they'll definitely knock out Iron Hands, so I think I'm feeling safer just going for Protect on Flutter here. I think most likely they target into it. They target into my Iron Hands, yeah, but I can't really afford to attack them, reading into that and give them a boost. And we do live. I think we probably would have lived anyways, but... Oh, we one-hit KO. Is that a crit? No. Okay, Iron Hands just crazy offensive power despite being so defensively bulky. Just a crazy stack of stats, this little guy. So I think even if we had Moonblasted, we would have lived the Rage Fist, but we definitely wouldn't have lived a crit. I think we would have lived a crit Rage Fist there, so I'm pretty... I think that was the correct play, but going for Icy Wind made things a little dicey. I think probably should have just been Shadow Ball Moonblast, but I wasn't so confident that the Annihilate wouldn't be able to outspeed, and basically my worry that turn was I'd see Rock Slide Rage Fist and then knock out Dragonite while I don't take a knockout, and in that case I'm just in a really, really shady spot to be able to handle their Landorus. Okay, and the next battle is a pretty similar team to ours. It's Chien-Pao, Flutter Mane, Cresselia, Heatran, Dragonite, and Ursaluna. So I think this could be a good Ursaluna game for us, but they're probably thinking similar. So let's identify the differences between our team. Obviously, it's the Iron Hands and the Urshifu and the Heatran on their team. So I think Speed Booster Flutter Mane could be pretty clutch for us. It just gives us the opportunity to immediately take knockouts, I think. But we do have to be concerned if they lead something like Chien-Pao. I think that's... Going for the booster energy flutter route is a lot riskier than just sitting Iron Hands on the field and doing big damage. I think I can pretty safely lead Urshifu and deal immediate damage to their Pokemon. And I do like Cresselia and... I haven't been able to get a Swords Dance up yet, but yeah, I'm going to go with my own Ursaluna, I think. This is a little risky, probably, but I do think Iron Hands has a chance to be able to beat all their Pokemon if positioned correctly. It's just if they're able to get the combination of a couple in, that could be an issue. So I'm trying to keep Iron Hands in the back so that it's less obvious what my game plan is, and they're not able to position around it. So we are seeing Chien-Pao plus Dragonite from them, which is totally fine. I think I have a good chance to live whatever hit they throw my way. And what do I want to do here? I might just want to break their Focus Sash. They could be Tera Dark Crunch or something, which would be annoying for Cresselia, but not the end of the world. I think... a Wicked Blow. I'm tempted to just try and break their Focus Sash, but on the other hand, I should be able to just... Yeah, this is a tough turn, but I think I'm going to go for a Close Combat into that and Trick Room. And they do go for Extreme Speed into my Urshifu, so I probably should have gone for Sucker Punch of my own. That was also a thought. But yeah, they have locked into Extreme Speed, which I think is probably... Yeah, that was another kind of bad call. Because breaking the Focus Sash there, they're most likely not going for Sucker Punch of their own, so that was kind of a bad misplay on my part, but I think I still should be fine. The Tera Ghost is a little annoying from their side, so I think I'm going to go in, or sorry, I'm kind of stumbling over this, a little flustered by that turn 1. Because I could have just gone for Protect. But anyways, I will go for I think Tera Ghost Swords Dance is pretty strong for me, as well as maybe an Ice Beam into their Chen Pao. I'm not really sure. I think Swords Dance is definitely correct. They're probably going to Protect, and I think Ice Beam is pretty safe into their Dragonite. They might Sucker Punch me, but it is what it is if they do. Maybe I should have ally switched. I do still have that option next turn, but I think they're more likely to feel on the defensive with Chien-Pao and not want to go on the offensive, but I could get punished pretty bad by a Sucker Punch onto my my Cresselia here, because I think Extreme Speed Sucker Punch might knock me out. But we do Tera first. Haven't learned anything about the speed yet, but yeah, we're going for Ghost Tera, which opens us up to Sucker next turn. They do Extreme Speed, no Protect on Chien-Pao, so we probably could knock that out. Let's see what they went for, though. We go for Ice Beam, break their Multiscale, and they go for Ice Skull Crash, which does miss. Okay, that's good. We are in a pretty cool situation now where we could Ally Switch. Let me check Ally Switch's priority bracket. So Sucker Punch is always going to be a concern here. I could Facade into there, and then I don't know Ally Switch's priority bracket. I don't think I can get around E-Speed very easily. Don't love this spot, honestly. I'm going to go for Ally Switch because it'll let me dodge Sucker Punch into the Ursaluna slot and E-Speed. I didn't know how that priority interaction worked out. But they do Sucker Punch into the Cresselia, so we do take a free knockout this turn in the Dragonite, and we don't have to worry about that damage anymore. And we should get a Lunar Blessing off next turn pretty safely. And we're poised to do a ton of damage to the rest of their team with our Ursaluna, with a couple, I think 2 turns of Trick Room left. But yeah, Ally Switch being +2 priority, being able to outspeed the Extreme Speed, really valuable there. It is... There's Ursaluna. We are min-speed Ursaluna on our own, so... That is some concern, but I do think probably... Let's calm down, let's look at the speed order. I think an E-Speed probably... I like Lunar Blessing a fair bit here, honestly. They haven't protected their Chien-Pao. We're going to see what they go for defensively. Tera Dark Sucker Punch will probably knock us out. Okay, they go for a defensive Tera on Ursa. They do go for Tera Ghost, so glad I didn't Facade that slot. But with +2, I do think we're probably capable of getting close to a knockout on that. They go for Sucker, and it doesn't knock us out. Let's see what their speed is. Okay, they're not. At least we might have won a speed tie there, but, you know, happy to get into that situation. Oh my goodness, we knock out the Ursaluna in one hit with a Swords Dance. That is so crazy. Ursaluna is so bulky that I honestly thought it would live the Earthquake. I I thought a normal Earthquake would do half, but with that, we just get rid of their Protect. Yeah, we got rid of their defensive Tera. We have another turn of Trick Room. We get a ton of healing off. We cure our burn. We don't take a chip of burn this turn, and we reactivate the burn. So yeah, just crazy damage coming out. And now we see Cresselia of their own. I do think that will lock it up for our Iron Hands pretty much, because now we can just go for Ice Beam into Chien-Pao. They have to play on the mind game of whether we ally switch or not. And regardless, I think we get a knockout this turn. Because Facade will knock out the Cresselia, Ice Beam will knock out the Chien-Pao, and with Lunar Blessing support, they Sucker Punch into Cresselia, predicting the ally switch there. And so Facade is going to knock out the Cresselia, and Ice Beam is going to clutch us up this match. Okay. So horrible first turn. Lost our Pokemon for pretty much just a Trick Room, but because of the really well-built defensive options of this team, the Japanese players and the Westerners that have picked it up, the Tera Ghost Ursaluna and the Ally Switch Cresselia, really in Trick Room just gives you opportunities to catch slightly suboptimal plays and just take the whole game off it, and that's what happened there. Granted, we probably did win a speed tie against their Ursaluna, but yeah. Overall, really happy with how that game went, and just showing off the power of that Tera Ghost Swords Dance Ursaluna this time. Okay, and a battle against number 136 on the ladder with a pretty hyper-offensive team of Tornadus, Chi-Yu, Indeedee, Flutter Mane, Regieleki, and Landorus T. So, plenty of opportunity for them to go for basically an Imprisoned Trick Room. Could be on Flutter, could be on DD, but I do expect it to be on one of them. But I think we do have a pretty solid team against that sort of thing. So I think Urshifu quite strong against Indeedee, as we saw earlier. If they don't Tera, we do have a guaranteed knockout if they're not Colbur Berry or Sash. So that's solid. So it's probably Indeedee plus maybe Flutter, maybe Chi-Yu. Or they might just try and knock out our Pokemon outright. I do think Flutter with booster speed could catch them off guard here, and I don't think I do so well with Ursaluna as I did last battle. They have a lot of flying types, but they do have... Let's think. I think I should be able to knock off their ability to go for Trick Room, or their ability to counter Trick Room. The question is, what do I do then? After that, I think I'm going to go with my Pokemon that function a little more consistently out of Trick Room instead of just trying to bank on, guaranteeing we get rid of Indeedee. If they have a defensive Tera, if we expend our resources too aggressively in the early turns, I don't want to have to just sit on the field with Cresselia against Indeedee with an Imprison on the field. So, yeah, going a little more back to the non-Trick Room mode here. And they do lead Indeedee plus Chi-Yu, so definitely got that correctly. And I wish we had Dazzling Gleam. Unfortunately, we do not. I guess they'd probably lock that out anyways, but yeah. They are going to have a pretty safe turn of damage against us. I think what I might try to go for... I think a Fairy Tera is very, very free on their end, unfortunately. So I might just go for a... I don't want my Flutter to get knocked out by Choice Specs Heat Wave, Helping Hand, or something like that. So I think I might go for Wicked Blow Protect. I want to minimize the damage they're doing this turn. But they could just go for their own Trick Room, honestly. That'd be pretty interesting. Yeah, that'd be a pretty smart play from them, actually. Just not even going for... Yeah, that'd be pretty good. I think I probably should have close combated, but they didn't. They did go for Follow Me straight away, so fair enough. They might expect that I'm Choice Band. They do go for Heat Wave, so fingers crossed they don't get a burn. But that's definitely going to bring us down to their Sash if they hit. Yep, and there's the Focus Sash activating, and we do not see the burn, so we'll see what their item is. No Focus Sash, no Colbur Berry. Yeah, the Wicked Rocky Helmet, fair enough. So trading 1 for 1 here, but I think I'm good with that just because I do now get my Flutter Mane with Icy Wind on the field with my Choice Band Dragonite for free. And, well, is that necessary? That is the question. Because I protected that turn, I do think it's a little more favorable to go for that. No one's burned Tera, importantly, between the two of us, so there is their Landorus, and they activate Intimidate. I don't know if they'll be Choice Scarf or not. That's definitely a concern. So I have to be worried about a couple Pokemon in back. I think most likely is Flutter Mane. I don't think Regieleki is good against my team at all, and Torn in the back doesn't make sense, so operating off it being Flutter Mane, what are we going to do here? They could be Choice Scarf, they could be Sash. I think if they are choiced on... Yeah, I could E-Speed here. I think I'm just going to go straight away for... Hopefully we got that off. They are going for Tera of their own, but I was considering going for Stomping Tantrum, but I was worried that if they Tera the correct Pokemon here, we could be in trouble. They are going right for a Terrifier, which is terrifying, frankly. If they're Choice Scarf, I'm not totally sure how this pans out for me. But we are going to get an Icy Wind off here. This could have been a really improper turn from us, like maybe Stomping Tantrum was just way better. We're going to see, though. Might depend on how the items are spread out, but you see Icy Wind, we double connect, thankfully. That's a one-hit knockout on the Landorus because of the Beads of Ruin boost, so that could have been Choice Scarf. So let's see. We do get the Tera Blast off on the Chi-Yu, so that's definitely going to be a knockout. I don't think there's a Pokemon, I don't think there's a Chi-Yu bulky enough to tank that. And we do get a crit, we take that knockout, but really doubt that mattered. So yeah, now we're up 3-1 with Iron Hands in the back, so might have just been able to bulldoze them with some efficient use of our Icy Wind Flutter here, yeah. Landorus, it's never taken... Oh my goodness, and here comes Regieleki, which our Flutter Mane is actually going to be faster than, I believe. I guess there's no reason to mess around, though. If I can stall out enough turns... No, I could switch out Dragonite, but I can't get paralyzed on my Iron Hands. I can Drain Punch it always, so yeah, they just canceled the battle, and we take a pretty quick one against someone really high on the ladder, which I'm definitely happy about. So, yeah, good game to our opponent, but the just unexpected Pokemon on the team, the Urshifu-Dark, they might have expected Water, which might have been why they led that, but Urshifu-Dark just killer against Indeedee, and because they didn't Tera early, I was able to take that knockout and then get my Icy Wind Flutter in next to my Dragonite for free, and unsuspectingly, they brought in their Landorus, confidently thinking they could intimidate most of my physical team, but no, not in this case. We pretty much just had the perfect tools for the job there. Alright, and last battle of the session, and maybe this ranked battle season. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to get another one before the month ends, but yeah, it's again Tori with Palafin, Chien-Pao, Goldengo, Heatran, Amoonguss, and Gyarados. So double water, double steel. Quite interesting. Obviously Intimidate's a bit of an issue for our Ursaluna, even if we try and set up. That could be annoying. I don't love it, really. They could have Aqua Jet pressure later in the game. I'm going to try and avoid that, but Flutter Mane kind of gets just destroyed by their priority moves, unfortunately. I do think Iron Hands... Man, Tera Grass would be good here, but can't dwell on that. Yeah, they have a pretty cool team. Has a lot of tricky options, but I do think our Urshifu, if we don't bite into a Amoonguss Rocky Helmet, can do really well for us. So I think I'll bring that in the back. Oh, I could just ally switch them, couldn't I? Yeah, that might be cool. I think I like Iron Hands in the lead slot. I'm considering Cresselia. Yeah, I'm considering Cresselia, maybe Urshifu plus... Yeah, the Cresselia is actually pretty questionable considering what I brought him back. I was thinking of angling for an Ursaluna win condition, but yeah, I don't think Cresselia is correct at all here. I think I probably should have committed to Ursaluna. I was thinking, yes, Palafin, yes, Chim Power issues, but again, I could probably just ally switch and get a cheeky knockout if I play correctly with that, so hard call. I think I probably made the wrong one in team preview here, and we could get punished on lead pretty badly for that. So it is Amoonguss and Palafin, so unfortunate for us. I do think they'll probably switch the Palafin. They're not offering too much damage. And yeah, who could they switch into? They don't really like taking Wild Charge with anything, but I don't like taking... Man, Safety Goggles would be really good here. I think I might fake out and take this opportunity to get one of my Pokemon in here. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch into Dragonite because I'm able to resist any hit the Palafin goes for most likely, and they do switch, so yeah. And we'll stop the Amoonguss from being able to move outside of any fringe options like Covert Cloak or Tera Ghost. So Gyarados comes in, so double water. We're going to really want to preserve our Iron Hands' health and status condition, basically. But we can just Lunar Dance it, Lunar Blessing it back to full against most of these Pokemon, so don't really have too much worry here. And we see a flinch, no Rocky Helmet, that's definitely good. And I think I like my spot a lot here. I think I have a pretty safe, not a safe switch, but it's kind of safe. Like I said, I want to preserve my Iron Hands. I kind of want to preserve my Tera too, though. I could maybe take a knockout here, but then I become kind of weak to their Palafin. Like, I want to go for Tera Water this game, honestly, which is why bringing my Pokemon here was kind of ill-advised. I might just go for Outrage, do as much damage as I can into either of these Pokemon. Amoonguss is definitely more desirable, but Dragonite most likely goes to sleep this turn anyways, so we'll see what we can do. We see a Protect from Gara, so it would really be nice if we Outrage that Amoonguss slot. And we see Outrage, unfortunately it's going to be into the Gyarados slot. So that's the risk we take going for that 50-50, and they do Spore, so not too worse off for it, because we can go for... it's not great, right? This is one of those situations where Tera Grass would be so nice. But yeah, I did have a free knockout into the Amoonguss. I just played a little loose there, and now I'm probably gonna be in bad shape. They don't know that we're Mental Herb though, so they do switch out. So we won't attack because our Dragonite is slower than our Cresselia, so we won't get the heal off until this turn. But there's the Palafin, and yeah, I'm still not too mad about any of this, right? I should be able to get an Outrage off next turn. So yeah, Dragonite wakes up and they go for Spore into Cresselia. I think it would have been really sharp if they had gone for Spore into Dragonite. I think that's probably their better play that turn, because it covers for Safety Goggles and a couple other things. But yeah, I think now my Cresselia is just going to sleep for a little bit. I can't really bite. They're going to switch their Palafin into Intimidate, which makes sense, but... Right, that is Gyarados? Yeah, it is. Cool. They have a lot of steel types, but not switching it in here. But yeah, the Inner Focus coming in clutch. The Outrage is going to do a ton of damage. And yeah, the reason... ooh, that's a really, really close knockout on the Gyarados. And now they are kind of back at square one, right? Where they have to Spore. And we're just getting a lot of damage off. But on some level, I'm not really getting anywhere, right? Because eventually... Yeah, I'm not really getting anywhere, unfortunately. I needed to hit Amoonguss at one point, and I just haven't gotten there. So yeah, that's definitely concerning. We do outspeed their Gyarados, potentially. What are they going for then? Okay, Taunt, but yeah, I have Mental Herb finally coming in clutch, woohoo. I think Safety Goggles is just a much better item in most situations, but in this case, we do get that off. They go for Pollen Puff, healing off our Outrage damage, and yeah, we just need the permanent damage into Amoonguss, honestly. So, we do get the Lunar Blasting next turn, and I guess another Outrage. We do have a chance to first turn Wake on Dragonite, I suppose. And a ton of HP left on Outrage, but this is kind of just devolved into a bit of a degenerate game state. Because they can't really do too much damage. Yeah, we get the Lunar Blessing off, but they can Spore either of our Pokemon, most likely, if they don't want to go for Pollen Puff, and we're just kind of waiting until we can chip the Amoonguss down. They do get their Taunt off, finally, and probably Spore into Dragonite. Ugh, that's so annoying, but yeah, the correct play. Maybe I should have gone for Ice Beam that turn. That's probably what I should have been going for, honestly. Yeah, Ice Beam's going to do pretty negligible damage to them. But maybe worthwhile if I can get a knockout at some point with Dragonite. So that's what I'm going to go for. And yeah, Dragonite takes its first turn. They can't really damage us unless they have a Rock-type move. But we probably should have been going for Ice Beams this whole time. That's more damage than I thought. And they Waterfall the Cress, so doing some good damage there. And they Pollen Puff, interestingly. I kind of disagree with that. I don't know what the HP on Gyarados is doing for you. I should be conscious of HP of this battle, though. I think as it goes on, we're doing... we are getting in some risky territory for a timeout. And I could have alleviated that by just going for Terra Blast, but I was concerned about their Amoonguss, basically their water types being able to damage my Iron Hands while Amoonguss redirects if they Terra that turn. So yeah, we Ice Beam, and here we go. Waterfall, and hopefully no Spore or Spore into Dragonite. Very nice. And Taunt is about to run out, I think, next turn. So yeah, leftovers Amoonguss. We've now chipped it into Outrage range. Yeah, Taunts one more turn. Weep Whoop. Okay. I don't want to switch in a Pokemon and just get scored, so I think I am going to probably just Ice Beam Outrage. No reason to correct course now, honestly. And if I do wake up with Dragonite and get a solid hit off, okay, we're getting an Outrage off. And it is into Amoonguss, so we will also get an Ice Beam off into their Dragonite. And the fun thing about Outrage, if it's ever interrupted by Protect, Sleep, or anything like that, there's no more chance of confusion, and you can actually, I believe, unlock yourself from it if you're not choice banned. I could be wrong about that. But yeah, now Cresselia is shaking off the Taunt. We finally got rid of Amoonguss, and we have our Tera still available for Amoonguss, still available for our Iron Hands to go into Tera Water, and that's going to wall their whole team at this point. So, what do we do next? I think we honestly just go for Ally Switch and go for Outrage. Yeah, just click the one move and go for the other move. And it's probably going to be an Ice Spinner into our... Ooh, and they miss into Cresselia, so probably would have knocked us out, but that's not really what we were going for. They give us the boost, we get a critical hit. Oh, this battle's just suddenly gone off the rails for them. Oh yeah, and Iron Hands at this point is looking very, very nice, especially with my Chien-Pao in the back. Or not my Chien-Pao, my Urshifu, just because I can fake out something and attack the other through Protect, and that's a pretty high pressure play later on. I don't know if they know that you can go for two of those in a row. I think the better play might be just to go for... Well, do I want Trick Room up for Iron Hands, or do I want to outspeed next turn? I think probably Trick Room. Trick Room seems solid. I could go for another Icy, but I don't think that's correct. Or another Ally Switch. I think I'm going to try and get Trick Room up for my Iron Hands and my Urshifu and see how that works out. They haven't burned their Tera yet. They do, correctly go for the Icicle Crash because I had to Ally Switch, which I think is same chance as a Double Protect. And they go for Bulk Up. Okay. So Trick Room feels very correct here, honestly. We do have Wicked Blow to handle that potentially. So I'm not stressing too hard. Now they could take a knockout with Priority Move on Chin Pao. Plus, I don't think this is over by any means, but I don't think we get much value out of Tera Dark anymore. I think Tera Water is just extremely beneficial for us here. So I think I will go for a... Like, they probably go for Icicle Crash, so I think I go for Fake Out into the Palafin, and I go for Ice Beam to break their Focus Sash on Chien-Pao in case they go for a Ghost Tera. I don't want to double into that for no reason. With a Drain Punch and Ice Beam when the Drain Punch would just whiff. Because I think with Trick Room up, I just have to make good use of my Trick Room turns and soften up the Palafin soften up either so that Urshifu wins in the back. But we are seeing a Tera. I think they probably would have to attack with Palafin. Yeah, so we do see a Tera there, and it's going to be the Ghost Tera, so if they don't Sucker Punch, we'll break their Focus Sash, and this turn will definitely be in our favor. And and Fake Out. Oh, critical hit with the Sword of Ruin boost, just boosting even further. Not the most ideal last couple of turns, and we crit again. Worst, it would have been so insulting if just at the end there and there's the Icicle Crash. Or the Icicle Crash failure to knock us out. So I think now we just go for Lunar Blessing, Wild Charge. I don't think they can knock us out on the Iron Hands, so let's think about this a little more thoroughly. I think I always beat the Chien-Pao now with Sucker Punch if I have another Pokemon on the field next to it. So I just have to protect my Iron Hands, protect its HP. Oh, they have Ice Shard. That's interesting. Okay. No Sucker Punch risk from that, and now we should be getting the Wild Charge off, even with the Bulk Up, because of the Sword of Ruin drop. That's really serving against them here. They did have incredible Aqua Jet potential into us, and I think if they had Tera Water with the +1 boost with Sword of Ruin, I think if we hadn't Tera Watered ourselves, that'd probably do like 80. So with a crit, they probably could have knocked us out, but yeah, we played that super awkward game state with the Dragonite locked into Outrage next to our horrible against Amoonguss Cresselia with Lunar Blessing. Precisely for that situation that we just moved ourselves into. And Heavy Slam does a lot less than I expected. I guess Chien-Pao is a heavy boy, a heavy little snow leopard. And one more crit, this time guaranteed, to add insult to injury, and we're able to take that. Probably our last match of the season, and boy was it a doozy. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that, and yeah, good win. Okay, I've never looked too closely at Kingamit's torso before, but it looked like it had nipples. That will do it for today on the battles. I think we showed off the best aspects of this team, truthfully. We saw the Cresselia with Ally Switch, just being able to support the Ursaluna really well with Lunar Blessing and Ally Switch. The Swords Dance also sowing chaos once your opponent went for a suboptimal play once Trick Room was up. The Flutter Mane with Booster Energy really seemed like the MVP, catching a lot of Landorus's off guard and letting your Dragonite and Urshifu do crazy damage. And Iron Hands, old reliable, oftentimes just staying in the back or applying early fake out pressure to let the rest of the team shine. So congrats to Fede on his win in that grassroots tournament. It's a really cool team. Hope to see him do well at the World Championships later this August. And if you enjoyed the battles, please subscribe to the channel. I provided the rental code as well as the PokePaste recreation of the team in the description below, as well as Fede's Twitter account. So please check those out. And yeah, that'll do it for today, and peace.